In Edith Wharton's Age of Innocence, Ellen Olenska arrives at the opera wearing what is now known as a Josephine dress. Compared to the restricting, figure-accentuating dresses worn by the other women in the novel, Ellen's dress resembled more of a nightgown. It was shapeless, free-flowing, and low-cut. In short, out of style. However, and maybe unexpectedly, these dresses later found their way into fashion and had a revival in the 19th century. This idea reminded me of the story of another clothing item, now popular in today's society. I'm Annika Wong.
I'm Megan Trapp.
I'm Rachel Rothner.
And our podcast is about sweatpants.
Again with the sweatpants.
Yeah, they're comfortable.
You know the message you're sending out to the world with these sweatpants? You're telling the world, I give up. I can't compete in normal society. I'm miserable, so I might as well be comfortable.
Gina, we have to talk to you. You're wearing sweatpants. It's Monday.
My fascination with sweatpants started when I was in middle school, when I got into a fight with my mom. See, I needed her to take me to the store to buy some supplies for whatever I was crafting at the time, and she said she would, after I changed out of the sweatpants I was wearing. Now, if you asked either of my parents to describe me, it wouldn't take long for them to reach the word stubborn, so I wouldn't budge. But I am her daughter, so unfortunately that was a trait that I got from her. She wouldn't budge either. I didn't go to the store that day, and I never understood why. I couldn't wrap my head around what it was about sweatpants that she just hated so much. But now I think I do. So, 6 years later, I called her up to talk.
This call is now being recorded.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Annie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm so glad to hear your voice. I mean, for me, if you talk about clothes, I think it's kind of a respect. It's a privilege. You know, we are able to wear clothes with all the buttons or shoulders, you know, collar or whatever. I told you the story of my mom, my grandparents, even my grandma. They make winter shoes for us, and sweater. They knit their sweater and make clothes for us once a year, twice a year. And we always, you know, make sure if we go out, we always wash them, make sure there are no wrinkle before we get out the door. So it's kind of like a respect, not just to people and to, you know, just to yourself as well. To me, is a privilege, and to other people, it's a respect. I don't want my family wear something like not neat to present themselves, and the people will think people may or may not misinterpret them into they're lazy or they're not paying attention, they're not respectful. I just like you put some effort into everything you do, because one thing sometimes represents more than just that one thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. You care a lot about the way you present to other people. And I think when I was younger, I saw the kids around me, they got to wear sweatpants, but they also didn't have to worry so much about how other people saw them.
Mhm.
It used to bother me how much you cared about how I presented myself, but I understand now.
It's lovely. It's a celebration of life. If you wear things, you put effort in.
Sweatpants were created in the 1920s for male athletes to have comfortable attire for athletic activities. Their wear for athletic activities continued up through the 1980s when their use and image began to change. Increased gym going and focus on fitness and health moved sweatpants into everyday leisure wear, but the iconic images of Run DMC and other hip-hop connections brought sweatpants into the fashion scene as fashionable, comfortable clothing that could be worn at all times.
Looking around a classroom, it's not completely uncommon to see a few students wearing sweatpants. Megan interviewed her roommate Shayna to talk about a college student's perspective.
In my conversation with Shayna, she brought up the idea that your perception of someone in sweatpants really depends on the context of the environment that someone is in. Are they at the gym? Are they at the store? In class? All of these locations change the perception of a sweatpants wearer.
I guess I think sweatpants as like they're more baggy. Usually they're like the cottony, like polyester material. They're usually, I'd say leggings and sweatpants are different. I don't wear sweatpants that often, really only to the gym or like on airplanes.
Do you think it is acceptable to wear sweatpants in public?
I think so, but also I feel like living in a college realm, it's much more acceptable than like if I'm going to work or like outside of Ann Arbor or a college town, it's probably very different. Yes.
If you were walking on the street and you saw a person wearing sweatpants, what would you think of them?
They're probably a college student or just needed a day not in like nicer clothes. Sometimes you have those days. My perception would be a little bit different if they're like torn or ripped or like just like dirty looking, I guess, compared to just like a nicer pair of sweatpants.
Do you ever think that sweatpants are stylish?
I think that I could never pull them off personally, but I can see how they'd be stylish. I feel like it's becoming more of a thing for especially like celebrities or even like college students to wear sweatpants with like a nicer shirt of some kind to kind of like style it up. I wouldn't say it's like dressy, but it can be stylish. But now I think sweatpants are definitely a trend, especially with like Adidas or like Nike white shoes or whatever, and yeah, definitely.
Today, sweatpants are a widely worn garment spreading across all ages, genders, and occasions. In some instances, they act as a disguise of looking fashion oblivious. Sweatpants have transformed from iconic gray cotton to a wide array of patterns, colors, materials, and cuts. One such cut that has gained popularity over the last decade is joggers, which tend to be sweatpants tapered at the ankle. Despite the similar material and purpose, joggers tend to be more fashionable than the average pair of sweatpants. We spoke with a streetwear brand owner to find out more about the perception of sweatpants in the public eye and their personal perception of sweatpants.
Saint Streetwear started off as just sweatshirts that were dyed and bleached with different colors in different ways. And now it has developed into more than just sweatshirts, mainly sweatpants, t-shirts, etc. This is Carly Dingman, founder and co-owner of Saint Streetwear. And especially now that she's started her own apparel company, she was the person that I wanted to go to see what it was like for her with the culture of sweatpants compared to people who just buy sweatpants on the regular.
I wanted to start this brand because I enjoy high quality streetwear, but I can't afford it as a college student. So I decided to create my own.
How come you decided to focus on mainly sweatshirts and sweatpants?
Sweatpants are something I wear every day. They are comfy, and again, if you have a high quality pair, they kind of make you more put together even though you're wearing sweatpants. The demographic that we sell to are college kids mainly, and kids matching sweatsuits. Kids love to wear out, ages 16 to 18. It's kind of the new trend. They think it's super cool. So we just went with that.
Do you think that the culture of sweatpants is changing?
I would say that when I look at different styles of sweatpants, you start to see different styles in the bottoms, versus sweatpants used to just be the open leg back in the day, and now they're scrunched at the bottom. They could be like flat and tight at the bottom. So I definitely think it's changed over time.
Would you say that you sell both sweatpants and joggers? And how would you distinguish the two?
The joggers has a different style bottom. I would say they're a little more sporty, like athleisure, than the sweatpants are kind of casual, comfy, cozy. Right now, we strictly focus on tie-dye sweatpants, casual wear, but there's a lot more to come that I'm very excited about.
I also asked her why she decided to do an overall staining and bleaching theme.
When I first started, tie-dye was slowly making its way back. but I think that now kind of people have caught on, and it's time to create something that's even better than what we've already started creating.
She's embracing the idea that sweatpants are cozy, comfy, as well as trendy. She believes that sweatpants are on the rise. They're something that's becoming trendy and something that especially college students really enjoy to wear, and it is appropriate to wear outside the house.
It's interesting to think about how attitudes regarding sweatpants have changed over the years, and how just minor tweaks have caused those changes. Joggers and sweatpants are made of the same material and same cuts. The difference? An elastic band at the bottom that conveyed effort and athleticism enough for my mom to let me wear them out of the house. Now, joggers and sweatpants have made their way into mainstream fashion, and I don't think they're going away anytime soon, as brands such as Saint Streetwear prove that sweatpants can exist at the intersection of fashion and function.
Honey, you can have a sweatpants in your own cabin, in the mountain, sitting next to the fireplace with your loving family. You can wear sweatpants, pajamas, but just not outdoor, not outside the door.